I wanted to share with you guys, this is my son Lucas. He's shy, so he doesn't want to be in the camera right now. But you want to say hi?
Hi.
Yeah, okay, so he said hi. So I wanted to share with you guys this cool testimony. So when we were in Costa Rica last week, whenever I was teaching, they told us about how there was this sort of there's like an epidemic kind of thing going around right now in Costa Rica, where kids, there are these pockets all over the country where these kids are they'll get a fever for a day, and then after that they break out in this rash for about a week that just is really nasty. And when we were there on the YWAM base, there were actually several kids who had it or were finishing up having it. So they all told us, you make sure your kids aren't, you're careful with them, that they don't play around with the other kids. Well, I kind of forgot about that, and so what happened was that I think it was Thursday, we all wake up in the morning and Lucas here has a fever. And it was kind of a bummer because we were supposed to travel just a couple days later, and he never, that's no fun. So he had that fever and we were a little bit, wary of it. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Dios te bendiga. It's our host, just got home from work. So while we woke up that day and he had fever all day long, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I hope that this isn't the thing they've all been talking about. The next day we wake up and he is covered, his fever was gone, and he was covered from head to toe in this rash. And he was just itching and miserable, and it was horrible. And we were like, oh no, this is gonna be terrible. Because everyone was like, oh no, this is the thing that lasts for a week and it's gonna be miserable. And I was like, we have to go to Guatemala on Saturday. So we waited it out. We waited throughout the day. We were trying to keep him comfortable and everything. He was just scratching and scratching. And eventually, that night, I just sat down with him and I prayed for him. And you, with divine healing, you rebuke the sickness, command healing into the body. So I did that and prayed for him. And the next morning, we all woke up and the fever was gone and the rash had completely vanished. And still, it didn't come back. Fever didn't come back. He was completely healed overnight, and it was just an awesome thing. It's so cool whenever God, whenever we pray and God responds, and we get to see. It's one thing to hear the stories, but it's another whenever it's with your own eyes. It's your child who's sick, and you lay hands on them, and then within hours God responds, and that rash was just gone. There was no sign of it, and he's been great, been playing ever since, and none of the other ones of us gotten sick. My oldest boy hasn't gotten sick, so God is good. So I just wanted to share, testimonies. God is with us when we step out. It's amazing how He'll respond if we'll just, instead of running straight to the doctors, instead of running straight to medicine, let's run to prayer first, and then pray and see what God does. And so it's wonderful whenever He responds and we get to see that. If you guys like that video, do me a favor, subscribe, click like. It helps me out, and it's a lot of fun because there's a lot more coming.